Foals are a 5-piece dance, punk, indie rock, alternative rock band from England. Oxford, to be precise. Yeah, well, they released their first album, Antidotes, 2008, which I fucking adored. I don't know if you were getting into them at that time.
No.
No?
I hadn't heard them by then. I've listened to that album.
Yeah, it's a fucking awesome album. Like, did you listen to it a lot? You listen to?
I don't listen to it a lot. It's one of those albums that I was shown a long time after it came out by someone who already loved it, and I sort of did the sort of like, oh, this is kind of an interesting thing, and then I picked out a couple of songs I like from it, which I do listen to, and then I haven't actually given the whole thing like a good deep listen through.
Okay.
I'm also still yet to go through that album.
But it's the best one. 10 out of 10.
Spoiler alert.
That's what I would give that one.
You'd give it 10?
No, actually I wouldn't give it 10. I'd give it a 9. Like 8 to 9. Strong 8.
Maybe a 7.
Actually 6, just 6. No, it's totes an 8, strong 8.
Okay.
Anyway, since then they've had 3 albums out. They had Total Life Forever. Is that the one you got into a lot?
That's the one that I absolutely thought was fantastic.
Yeah, okay.
I'm surprised I didn't go back and listen to their first album after listening to that one, because I would give that a 9.
I don't remember digging the album too much, but I heard you listening to the songs the other day, and I was like, I know every single one of these songs, and I like them.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know I'd listened to it that much, but apparently I had. Then they brought out Holy Fire, which is their biggest song, which James wasn't aware was even a song they had done, which was Suck on my balls. Suck on my balls. Yeah.
I recognised it. But if you were to say, what is Foals' biggest song?
It's totes that one.
I wouldn't have known.
Hey internet, their biggest song, My Number. I'm not saying I like it the most, but it's their biggest song.
Who are you talking to?
I'm talking to the wonderful people at home watching. There's no one watching.
There is no one watching. And if they are watching, I don't think they're at home.
Why not? What's happened in the world?
What if they're watching on the bus, dude? You don't know this.
I guess.
Gareth agrees.
Okay. We've not even gotten to what we're talking about.
We haven't. Okay, let's go.
What Went Down, which is their latest album.
And title track. I'll have you know.
Yeah. I liked it. I liked the title track. I thought it was okay.
The title track, I think it was the best song on there.
No, it fucking wasn't.
What
the fuck?
Already?
Shit!
I disagree with you as well.
I think that was like the perfect opener. I think it was so good. I really liked it.
I thought there were 4 songs, right? 4 songs which were really good.
Yes.
What Went Down
Yeah.
was one of those songs.
Yeah.
The next song, Mountain at the Gates.
That was the
my
best song.
guess.
That's
My
the
guess.
best. That was the best one.
Wrong again.
No! It was fucking the best one.
Mountain at My Gates was also an incredible song. Opening with those two is a really strong opener, and it had my hopes up for the album.
Yes.
Moving into Birch Tree.
Yes.
Yeah,
Fucking love that song.
I thought it was
Fucking love
good,
that
but I
song.
didn't think it was as good as the other two.
Dude, no, Birch
agree.
Tree was awesome.
Good. But then,
Yeah.
it went downhill so much for me.
I agree.
Give It All. So
Interesting.
painfully average.
Yes, I agree.
As far as Foals average go, it's a good standard of average. But there was just nothing that stood out at all. It was an entire track where you're like, oh yeah, who's this? Foals? Oh yeah, I can tell it's Foals. Don't put it on again.
Yeah.
That's what that is, right?
What about Night Swimmers?
Night Swimmers.
Night Swimmers.
It was
in
a
my top
house song.
songs.
Exactly
It was
the
a fucking
same.
house song. It was awesome.
I loved Night
I
Swimmers.
really loved that one.
I disagree.
It was a house song. I like house music. It was a house song. It was a good song.
So with Night Swimmers, the only thing I liked about it was the outro.
The outro got really good.
The outro was really good.
Like,
But
actually, there's a few songs.
The only thing on that song that made me want to rate it higher than a 4 out of 10.
What?
Yes. The only thing on that song, Night Swimmers, 7th track, that I liked was the outro, and that particular moment was the only thing that made me rate it higher than a 4. I gave it a 5. I really nothing stood out until the outro, and it was, not only was nothing standing out, but the stuff that was there I really disliked. I didn't think it worked. I don't think it worked in relation to the album, and I just don't think it worked by itself either.
I just don't like you.
I think on this album,
Fair point.
There were two main ways when I liked it a lot.
Okay.
When they were being bouncy and when they were being progressive, right? Tracks like What Went Down, Albatross, which was one of my favourite tracks on there, I think it was really good, and things like Mountain of the Gates, where they had like a big build up and it would get really epic. There was lots of like sort of driving bass lines, lots of continuous progression, and on sort of more bouncy things like Birch Tree and things like Night Swimmers, where it was just really sort of uplifting and upbeat and happy and fun. I think they were like the best bits of this album. I think outside of those sort of bits, they got a bit to the sort of level of like you said, this is Foals. Yeah, I mean it is. It's
Following up.
The thing is, I like.
And I like the sound of Foals.
I
so when I hear the stuff that is This Is Foals, I don't think it's bad, you know? I'm just
and
like,
that's how I felt. Like, it got, like,
just
it
not
leans
as good
more
as
on,
the
like,
rest.
their older styles as it gets towards the end of the album.
Mm.
And I liked their older style.
Mm.
Like, personally, I would prefer them to be doing, like, the Antidote stuff, which is all kind of like, bang, 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 which is all kind of, like, dancey and punky, but, like, they probably wouldn't have progressed very far in, like, their careers. They'd probably still be playing in, like, Camden, like, little underground bars and things.
Totally.
But I would have liked that more.
Moving on from Night Swimmers.
Yeah.
The next track, London Thunder, was my personal favourite on the entire album.
Really?
Interesting.
Yeah. I thought that it was Foals making a Coldplay track better than Coldplay has ever made a Coldplay track. I feel as though that had some really great guitar parts in it as well. Like that, the little riff that goes with it.
Has nice guitar
It's
in it.
beautiful. It's a great song. It's really downbeat, which is kind of my kind of style, but
I only got, like, the Coldplay flavour on, like, my favourite song, which was Mountain at My Gate.
no,
I was
understand that
like,
as well.
it's kind of Coldplay, but I'm not gonna show.
I think for me,
I
what
liked
it was the synth that opened London Thunder.
Yeah.
I really felt as though that kind of immediately put me in the mindset of like a chilled but still somewhat upbeat kind of track. The only problem that I had with that track was the bass guitar, because when it came in, there was some other sounds playing. It was like kind of like a synth sound, but it wasn't necessarily synth. It was like extra noise being added as like an atmospheric thing, and it really muddied the bass. And I could tell it was a good bass line under there. And I've actually watched one of their live versions, in fact the only live version on YouTube of that song.
Really?
And it doesn't have that kind of atmospheric sound, and the bass really stands out and it's fantastic.
I think the bass sounded so great. I think the entire album sounded just fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, okay, the guy who mixed this album is a guy called Alan Moulder, and he has like a godlike status. He's let me just tell you some of the bands he's mixed for. He's got 9 Inch Nails, Arctic Monkeys, Foo Fighters, Royal Blood, Led fucking Zeppelin, The Killers, Them Crooked Vultures, and LaRue. Like, and that's just like a small number of them.
Yeah.
It
was great. It was absolutely fantastic.
Especially on like the song Birch Tree. Like, it was just a fucking pleasure to listen to on my fucking monitors. You probably listened to them on some like gay headphones or some shit.
Oh man, I went for the Apple earphones.
The Apple earphones?
No, I didn't.
Well, to get that real standard sound, that real like...
I think the bass was a bit muddy. But then I was really disappointed. Right, Lonely Hunter, second to last song, the one that follows London Thunder. I rated it as a 6. I think on a good day I could rate that a 7, but it just felt like, after listening to quite a few average songs in a row, then being hit by London Thunder, which I thought was the best track, going back towards that averageness, it really disappointed me. And I was like, come on, you've only got 2 songs left. You might as well just, like, really turn it up for that. Lonely Hunter, I wasn't a massive fan of it. A Knife in the Ocean, loved it.
That was the last song on the album, right?
Last song on the album.
It's another, like, a song that ended with a great song. Album that ended with a great fucking song.
Yeah.
And begun.
And began.
Both of these albums so far have had great beginnings and endings.
Absolutely. Completely agree. It did exactly what I said that the Fiddler album did. It summarised exactly what the album was supposed to sound like. It was a long track which gave you a lot of time to explore all these different things that you've been exploring throughout the whole album.
Yep.
It was good outro music.
I think
it was fantastic. I
That's
loved
another
it.
important thing for me, is that this album really did have a sound. Like, you could tell that they've done a lot of albums before this and they have what they're doing down, because even though there was a lot of different sort of style tracks, they all sounded very similar and they all worked together. Like, you could feel like...
Did they all work together?
All go in.
What about Snake Oil?
Oh,
Okay.
What
that's a
about
good point.
Snake Oil? That to me is another fucking royal blood ass fucking cop
this
rock
again.
dumbass song. Like,
You know-
why is it there?
This time, I will at least agree with you that I didn't think that was a good song. That was definitely the lowest of low.
Like, did you see iTunes were like hyping it as like the heaviest Foals album yet? I'm like, if I want to listen to something heavy,
I can
don't wanna listen to fucking
understand that,
Foals.
but yeah,
I do like some of
agree.
the heavy stuff on there, in that, like, not this type of heavy that it sounds like they mean.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
in
more
the
like
sort of,
intense.
Intense, exactly. That's a better.
like when they're
would
like
be a
going,
better word for it. And it's really building up and crescendoing.
I never thought they would become like a chord band, like the just like
Yeah, me neither.
fucking like
That was
smashed
one
out
of the things
chords.
that really surprised me. I mean, I haven't listened to their first or third album anywhere near as much as I've listened to their second. But what really stood out for me in their second album was that they really didn't play power chords that
I
often.
know, it was crazy. Like,
Or just chords in general. Like, they really went for the whole harmonic kind of
yeah.
picking of...
Yeah.
Like
It was-
that's why I really
love
like
that
Mountain at My
sound.
Gate. Like, you know that piano line that just goes through it? It had that old kind of Foals kind of indie sound to it.
Yeah.
Almost Bombay Bicycle-esque kind of little melody
And
to it.
look at my summary here for Mountain at My Gates.
Oh, hit me.
Great track. It's more
Like
like
Foals.
Foals. It's more like Foals. That's exactly what that was.
Okay.
Yeah, I see that.
I thought the instrumentation was just fantastic. That every instrument sounded great. The drums sounded fantastic, really crispy and funky. And
Yeah.
like that hi-hat action was like sick.
And even the snare on some of the later tracks was popping.
Oh, what about like
Really
the
great.
distortion on his vocals throughout? Like, he's not really had much like vocal processing before, like on much of the albums I've listened to.
I think that's one of the reasons I especially that I feel like with this I didn't notice it as much, or I noticed it but like I didn't think of it as much. Is because, one, I haven't listened to Foals as much as you guys before, and also because I just finished listening to Fiddler a ton when I started listening to this, and they have a ton
like,
of vocal
oh,
processing.
I was gonna
So
have
I'd gone
much-
from that to a little bit, and I'd sort of just
This is just
skidded
how
over
vocals
that.
sound
Yeah,
now.
that's the point. Yeah.
Also, like the drums in that song "Mountain on My Gate" were doing this awesome fucking thing. Like, you know when it like you were talking about it in a trap the other day, like a new trend in trap
Yeah.
music, where like
the
it
first beat
gives-
doesn't hurt,
it
gives
leaves
it a
like a
breath.
bar, and then it goes,
and then it
"Ba-bum,
hits just
ba-bum,
after, so you sort
ba-bum."
of expect it to.
But like the fucking drums and everything, like crescendos, and then it fucking drops for a bar, and then the drums go, and I was like,
It's really
oh,
nice.
it's like a second
Gives you
hit, and
this
it's
nice
like
warm-
so fucking good.
Gives you a nice warm breath, lets the heaviness of the other bits of the track go in first,
Exactly.
and then the drums come in.
Like, it feels so good when it
It
happens.
was really
really
refreshing to listen to. Like, you don't get stuck in this mindset of you know exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah.
It kind of leaves you guessing, and it's really exciting. I
fucking
love that.
love that.
It was fantastic.
Okay, so we've talked about our favourite songs already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Favourite songs were
What
fucking
did you guys think? What did you guys think of Albatross? Did you like that track?
yeah.
No,
So I thought that was one of my favourite tracks in the album. Here we
I
go.
really didn't like it.
Really, I
Yeah.
thought that was great because that fit into the style of a lot of these songs to me. Where I felt where it was sort of that intense style, where it's a lot of building up, a lot of building upon building, and being like
I
very
understand
driving
that,
and stuff. And I liked
but
it.
I thought that it only did that. The only thing that I really liked about that song was that it built up for about 2.5 minutes and then it just went back to how it was when it started. And there wasn't like a thing that happened, like a great chorus or something. It just immediately went down, and then it's a 5-minute track. It went on for another 2.5 minutes, building up to the end of the song, and I was like, it's building up to something, but I never got that thing. You know?
I liked that progressiveness though, where it was just sort of moving and like adding, and I agree with you, there wasn't a moment in it, but I, you know, being a very progressive house person, in my normal music listening, I liked that it, you know, clicked with me.
I just felt as though it needed to
go
somewhere. It needed to add something to it. It felt as though what they were trying to do worked really well, but they could have tried something more. I think that they could have added just something else to really like grab your attention. And it didn't really fit between Give It All and Snake Oil. I thought it was. It just kind of came in.
That was the weakest area of the album.
It was.
That was where it slipped.
It was. I completely agree.
Yeah.
Well, personally, I give it a decent 7.
Decent 7.
Yeah. I liked the album a lot.
I would also give it a 7, but I'd say it's a strong 7. It was for me. It was very much close to an 8. I was hovering between the 7 and the 8 for it.
Man, you want to give this album a 4? Did you say?
No. That was one song.
Okay.
No, it wasn't. Night Swimmers.
Oh yeah, it was gonna
get
a 4. But
gonna get a 4.
Intro raised it, yeah.
No, except for the outro. The outro raised it.
The outro raised it. Yeah, sorry. I think like strong 7, weak 8 for this. Like I because even though there were like weak bits and stuff, I still think the weak bits just were the sort of nice stuff that I'd have on and wouldn't skip. I'd just be like, yeah, this is great.
I feel as though if we didn't have this particular section, which I'm going to describe as Give It All to Night Swimmers, if we didn't have those 4 songs going on there, or at least if it was more Foals, I would have given it an 8.
Horses.
Yeah. If there were more baby horses, I would have given it an 8.
To be honest, baby horses make everything there. They're like horses, but cute.
But
Gareth,
I'm
how
going
do
to
you
give
think
it a
about
7.
horses?
Horses, scary motherfuckers. All right.
They're beautiful, majestic creatures that just need love and care and attention, like everybody fucking else on this planet. Okay, a decent 7. You haven't given your answer yet.
I said 7.
Did you?
But then you started talking about
horses.
We're talking about horses now. The conversation's moved on. Like a decent baby horse. Goodbye, everybody. This has been the Sonic Squeeze. I'm Gareth Grigg. He's James Willoughby. This is Gareth. I'm Gareth too. Isaac. Good night. Well, I think I ended that one pretty good, pretty smooth.
Predictions. I predicted that you two would give this an 8.
Oh.
wrong.
Originally, I thought I was going to give it an 8 as well. I was very much.
I just can't believe you gave the Fiddler album an 8.
I really like it, dude. I think it's great. I think it's great.
What? So
What did you give it? A 6?
Yeah.
I can understand that. I can understand a 6 more than I can understand an 8. Even
I
though I
really
gave it a 7, you would have thought I could give a bit of leeway either side, but no, I
Like,
thought
no.
7 was generous, if anything.